Hi guys, I'm Alexandria, and in today's video we're going to talk about 10 healthy recipe alternatives that you can make using whole food ingredients. So the first recipe is cauliflower chicken. If you're someone who likes fried chicken and maybe you just want to reduce the amount of meat you're eating, one really great alternative to do is eat cauliflower fried chicken. So there are a lot of different ways to have cauliflower chicken. You could have it air fried, you could deep fry it, you could put it in the oven. If you are someone who really likes that crispy texture taste, I'm honestly a firm believer in just like 1% improvement. So if you know you're someone who really wants that crispy flavor, texture, and you putting the cauliflower in the oven, you know you are not going to get that satisfaction. The best way to honestly start is just by making it fried cauliflower chicken. Now, I honestly was a little skeptical of mentioning this just because technically it is still deep fried and still like the unhealthy oils, but if you're focusing on 1% improvement, eventually your taste buds are going to adapt to a better way of eating it. And I think automatically going from eating fried chicken wings to then eating oven baked cauliflower wings is not the same. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, it's the same. Like, you just have to adapt your taste buds. No, that's just not the case for some people. And for me, the route I went was just deep frying the cauliflower, like breading the cauliflower, putting it in the oil, and then putting a sauce over it. And to me, that satisfied that need of if I wanted chicken or if I wanted that type of texture of chicken, I could still have it using the cauliflower because yeah, it's still deep fried, but if you're then thinking about, okay, like, can I just use a healthier oil? Then you're already doing a little bit of improvement because maybe you used canola oil before and now you're using grapeseed oil, or maybe you used vegetable oil before and now you're using coconut oil. There's still a different way of what you can do to make something healthier while still having that same satisfaction. But find a version that works for you because there are different ways of making it and you have to figure out which texture is the one that works best. Like, you're already improving because instead of eating meat, you're now eating a vegetable. So anything after that is just a added plus. The second alternative is if you are someone who likes pad thai, stir fry, fried rice, instead of having like shrimp or chicken with it, replace those items with loaded vegetables and tofu. Now, I know not everyone's a fan of tofu. If you've never tried it, please don't say you don't like it. Try it before you say you don't like it and really see like if you still get that same satisfaction from eating the same foods, because maybe necessarily you don't have to give up stir fried, you don't have to give up pad thai, you don't have to give up ramen, but instead just finding other things to add to it to make it a little healthier. If you're having ramen, add some avocado, add some vegetables, add some tofu instead of the shrimp or the chicken. Once you do that, like, you're still getting the food that you want, you're just now replacing them with other things. So if you like stir fries, if you like pad thai, instead of removing the ramen completely, just change out some of the ingredients you have in it. So the next one is transitioning from eating regular scrambled eggs to tofu scrambled eggs. Now, I highly suggest, if you've never really played with tofu, is to try it somewhere else, just so that way you could get an understanding of the flavor and the taste profile to aim at. Because the thing is when you make it on your own for the first time, you really may not know what exactly it's supposed to like taste like, and you're going off of what you possibly just see. So a really good thing of doing, like, if you're implementing new types of food into your lifestyle, is to try it externally from a place first before you make it, just because in my personal experience, I found that anytime I've just basically tried something without trying it at another place first, I tend to dislike it. And what I also like about it is that you're not only just switching out of animal-based products, but you're also now incorporating a lot more nutrients than you possibly would have before. Before, when I ate regular eggs, it was just like salt, pepper, little vegetables here and there, but I really didn't add it if I didn't want to. But with tofu scrambled eggs, you tend to be more creative just so that way you have more things to add to your dish. And not only that, you also tend to play with a lot more seasonings that offer a lot more nutrients as well. So you tend to add turmeric, you tend to add nutritional yeast, which has B12 in it. So not only are you now adding more vegetables to your dish that you're already now creating, but you're also adding in seasonings that you usually possibly wouldn't use before eating a plant-based alternative. Next one up, since we're on the subject of breakfast, is cheesy grits. This one, listen, if you love cheese grits, cheesy grits, whatever it's called, if you love cheese grits, you don't need animal cheese to make it a really good cheese grits. You don't. I assure you, you do not. So when it comes to cheese grits, if you're someone who really loves cheese grits and you haven't decided to remove cheese from your lifestyle because that's something that you really love, I assure you that the best way that you could still have your cheese grits, just add nutritional yeast. Just add a load of nutritional yeast. Now you can also add plant-based cheese, but if you are trying to get away from eating a lot of preserved, like a lot of processed foods, if you just add nutritional yeast to it and some plain butter or vegan butter, whatever journey you're on, then you still get the same flavor. And I'll actually link the recipe below of the cheese grits that we use, because honestly that has been the best cheese grits recipe that I've ever had in my entire life. And even just making my own, it's just the way the one is made from this recipe. It still gives you that cheesy texture. It doesn't feel overwhelming. It doesn't feel like you're eating a whole bunch of nutritional yeast. Like, it blends straight in. And not only are you reducing the amount of animal products that you're using, you're also now getting nutrients on top of that. And if you are someone that really loves cheese grits and you want to find a way of making it healthier, you don't have to just omit the cheese and just have plain grits. You can still have your cheese grits. I could assure you that, and you will still love it. Next healthy recipe is ice cream. So I did speak about this in the past video. It's basically the same thing. There are really different ways of making ice cream yourself. To me personally, I don't really eat the plant-based alternatives sold in a store, just because again, it's like so many ingredients in there. And if the goal is to be more mindful of what I'm putting in my body and eat more whole foods, eating vegan ice cream is not going to do the service that I wanted to do, because it still has a high amount of sugar in it. But if you are someone who likes ice cream, maybe that is a great alternative for you. So it's like you really have to pay attention to where you are, what stage you are, because for me personally, I never was an ice cream person. But if I wanted ice cream, I wouldn't want to get that ice cream because I wouldn't want all that sugar in it. But if you are someone who loves ice cream, maybe a good alternative is just switching to a plant-based ice cream and then eventually making your own ice cream, because there are different versions. You can either make it in a blender or you can make it in a food processor, and there's different methods of saving it. But when it comes to ice cream, if that is something that you want to reduce and remove that dairy from it, either buy a plant-based version from the store or just simply make your own using fruit and plant-based milk. Next on the list is egg rolls. So I dedicate this one to my mother, because I remember when she made egg rolls for the first time, that shit came out very good. And it just makes you wonder of like the things that you used to eat and buy from the stores, and then realizing that it tastes better when you make it. And if you're someone who loves egg rolls, there are two different versions of egg rolls you can make. You can either make your own regular egg roll with cabbage in it, or you can make avocado egg rolls. And there are also two different ways you can make it. You can either put it in the pan with oil, or you can air fry them. Again, it depends on what stage you are of what will work best for you. If you're someone where you know you like that deep oily flavor, one alternative is just use the oil alternative, because it's mainly the texture and the profile that you're looking for, just with different ingredients. When you make it at home, you definitely know what is going in there. You definitely know how much oil you're using. You're paying much more attention to what is going in your food. Next one up is having a mushroom burger with sweet potato fries. So for this recipe, if you're someone who really likes meat and just wants to step away from the amount of meat you're eating and you tend to eat burgers a lot, a great alternative to do is eat a mushroom burger. I've found that mushroom burgers have that nice juicy flavor, and there are definitely other alternative burgers that you could have, like bean burger, sweet potato burger, beet burger. But honestly, I think if you're first transitioning out of meat, the greatest alternative to that, or that next step, is having a mushroom burger, because it still gives that same satisfying taste as a regular burger. Now, I also include sweet potato fries as opposed to regular fries, just because I found that when it comes to sweet potato fries, I feel like they're cooked differently. I can't say for certain that they are, but I feel like anytime when I've had regular fries, they had a lot more salt and they had a lot more oil than if I got sweet potato fries. So if you're someone who likes burgers and fries, just change out the fries for sweet potato fries, and or change out the the burger for a mushroom burger. If you're also someone who's learning to implement new foods, a great alternative is to just add mushrooms on top of the burger. So that way, once you do transition to wanting to have a portobello mushroom burger, your taste buds are already adapted to that type of taste. So it's like basically introducing it before you introduce it. And that's just like a better way of just like getting your taste buds adapted to something new while enjoying something that you're used to eating. The next healthy recipe alternative is pizza. So if you're someone who really enjoys pizza, the best way to reduce the amount of animal products you're possibly using is to, one, change up the ingredients on the pizza. And if you are making it yourself, look at the ingredients in the sauce. If you're eating out, choose different types of toppings to put. So I do want to put out a discretion because I do want to be a realist here. If you're someone who wants to reduce your cheese intake when it comes to pizza, I've only found one plant-based cheese that has actually melted. I will not sit here and tell you to just use a plant-based cheese because we all know that all plant-based cheeses are not made the same and they do not melt. And it's a horrible experience when you're thinking that buying plant-based cheese that is going to turn out the same way as animal-based cheese. It's not. It's not. But there is one cheese from Daiya brand that I have found has been really good at melting. And there's also a Chow cheese that has worked really well with melting when it comes to adding to your sandwiches. And the last healthy recipe alternative is egg salad and tuna salads. So if you're someone who likes egg salad, a really great alternative is to just make a vegan version using tofu. Honestly, I found that it's really good and it still gives me that sense like I'm eating an egg salad. So if you're someone who likes egg salad and want to reduce your egg intake, a really great alternative is to get a plant-based egg salad, which does exist and is actually really good. And the next one is if you are someone who likes tuna salad, a great alternative is a chickpea tuna salad. Honestly, that has been much more flavorful than a regular tuna salad. And tuna salad really is simple to make. It's just mashing up the chickpeas and adding in some onions, some peppers, and vegan mayo. So those are 10 healthy recipe alternative swaps that you can make. Definitely let me know if you guys enjoyed this video, which ones do you think that you would try or didn't think about trying before and now interested in seeing like how that would taste. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video.